Yes. Gotcha.
Yeah, I have to have a folder. You know, you can get cardio liver.
Okay, well not.
And I've got a folder.
So this is my favorite council member to come.
Pretty much the same age, not the same size.
Do you want to say?
Right now, I'm
Smile, guys.
yeah, it's okay.
So this must be frustrating.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I guess.
Or do you try not to think about it?
But I'm very good at his work as well. Because that's what I'm here. She's saving his life, not just mine. So.
Have you had people along the way come forward and tell their stories just to have other people that are waiting for transplant?
Oh yeah, I've met a lot of people that have been doing like 80s. People are waiting, people die waiting, people dying in their organs away, so we've had a lot of stories.
I guess probably maybe some of the more touching people you've met are people that have donated, have family members.
Yes, yes, yeah, we've had a lot of those. This one has, was it 12?
I think so.
10-year-old kid?
Yeah.
This 10-year-old kid, he hasn't had a sick day in his life. And this one, he went around the house and telling everybody to like, tell them all if they saw their grandparents. And then a week later, she got up. So the mom was like, so he took her to the hospital. And 3 hours later, major head injury or something like that.
Aneurysm.
So do you think it's an education thing? Is that what you're trying to do, is teach people? Do you think a lot of people are scared of organ donation? Or they just don't know about it? They don't know the size of the parts? What are you trying to tell people?
Right in Canada, it's called parents' consent.
Yeah.
Family
Please don't
consent.
take an organ.
I know. Family consent. And yeah, see if you like you sign up or something like that. You want to so we're trying to get some kids to tell their parents to join the organs or something does go wrong. Don't be scared to do it. And just to tell the kids when they get and my saying is please don't take your
So how long are you, where is your target? Like when did you start and how far are you going?
Okay, I started on January 8th, 2004 in my hometown, Stanley, Ontario. We did 76 communities in Ontario. Then we're heading out west to BC, Victoria. Then we're going to fly to Toronto, Montreal. Then we're going to fly to St. Vincent and China. Then December 24th.
Wow.
And this is the day 111.
Today is?
Yeah.
So you must be tired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little. I'm just glad winter's over.
Yeah, I bet it'll be a little, but now it'll be the heat, not the cold, I suppose.
Yeah.
And the mosquitoes in this neck of the woods.
That's alright. I'm just glad winter's over.
Yorkton, Saskatchewan.
353-day tour across Canada, raising awareness for the need for organ and tissue donations. Canada has over 4,000 people on the waiting list to receive an organ donation. It is Christopher and George's journey to raise awareness about this need that brings them to Sacred Heart today. Unfortunately, our MLA, Mr. Clay Serby, could not be with us today. As you might be aware, today is the first day Mr. Serby is scheduled to return to the legislature after his own personal battle with cancer. I'd like to call on Nicole Alberts to bring greetings on behalf of Mr. Serby.
It is with great pleasure that I welcome a fine, determined young man, Mr. Kristopher Knowles, to our community, our province. It is with great regret that I am unable to attend today's festivities. We are most pleased to have you begin your Saskatchewan tour right here in Yorkton. I would like to commend you on your dedication and commitment to promoting the importance of organ and tissue donations across the country. A big undertaking for a 13-year-old. I'm trusting because you are from Ontario, and from what I understand, a hockey fan like myself, we're both cheering for the same team, the Maple Leafs, who are on their way to a Stanley Cup win. As you and I have experienced, as well as many others who are here today, research in the medical field has assisted in saving an immeasurable amount of lives, and for that we are very grateful. This is a tough task at hand, however. Through science, awareness, education, and contributions, all Canadians can enjoy the best quality of life and best healthcare system in the world. Step by step, we will continue.
Good afternoon, Saints. You all look great. You've got a great opportunity with a young man who's traveled many miles to come here and tell you about his wish. Martin Luther King Jr. had a dream. Christopher has a wish. And I wish upon a star that Christopher's dream comes true. There are 4,000 Canadians that need help, that need some special part. And you guys all have great spirits. You're all saints. So when you're signing and you get your driver's license and whatever, take a moment and think of people like Christopher. Make the pledge, make the donation, because at that point in time in your life, you won't need the organ that Kristopher needs. I'm a donor. I'm also a bone marrow donor. It doesn't hurt, because at that point in time, you'll never need that organ. So I would like to welcome all of you, and Kristopher, welcome. I've got 3 words for you: courage, determination, and willpower. That's a great description of what you're doing. All the best in your trip across Canada, and thank you for coming and making a presentation to the youth of our community.
Well, you've heard a little bit about Kristopher, but now I think it's time for him to share with you a little bit of his own personal story. So once again, Mr. Kristopher Knowles.
First, I'd like to thank my road team. On my right, road manager George Marcello. On my left, film director, he's making a movie on my campaign, Merle Roberts. And at the very back behind the camera is my dad / driver, Kelly Knowles. Hi, my name is Kristopher Knowles. I'm 13 years old. I've been waiting for a liver my whole life. The disease that caused me needing a liver is called Biliary Atresia. It is a common disease among infants. Most infants die shortly after birth. So far, I've been fortunate enough to still be alive. I've been in and out of the hospital most of my life. I've had over 20 operations that saved my life. I'm doing this walk to bring awareness to the shortage of organ and tissue needed. That's why I thought to myself that there is a way to save people's lives. And if I save a life or lives, it makes this all worthwhile. That's why I'm walking across Canada, to save the 4,000 men, women, and children that are in need of an organ. I'm trying to inspire everybody to be an organ donor. Tell your friends and family about your wishes, and if you do, you're my hero, as well as everybody else's. Please don't take your organs to heaven. Heaven knows we need them here. And I'd like to thank Sacred Heart School for your support. Alone, I can't do this, but together we can. Please make my wish come true. Thank you.
As Kristopher mentioned, another important part of our presentation today is a gentleman by the name of George Marcello. As I mentioned earlier, George is a liver transplant survivor. After his surgery in 1995, Mr. Marcello had the desire to thank the family that saved his life, and he was determined to inspire other Canadians about the importance of the decision to become an organ donor. In 1998, he founded the Step-by-Step Organ Transplant Association. It's my pleasure to welcome to Sacred Heart, Mr. George Marcello.
Okay, Sacred Hearts, how's everybody doing this afternoon? Oh, come on, that was a little bit lame. The last school was a lot more enthusiastic than that. How's Sacred Hearts doing today? That's what gets us going. That's what gets us going. I want to thank some of the support we got from your community. And first of all, I want to thank the Comfort Inn for helping us out with accommodations. I want to thank Access Communications for helping us with internet. Kristopher receives like hundreds of emails a day that he's got to respond to as quickly as possible. I also want to thank Melrose Place, and I remember that because there's a show called Melrose Place. And I also want to thank Smitty's and Wendy's. All these different restaurants are feeding us while we're here, and let me tell you, this guy here's got a big appetite. And I also want to thank the RCMP from Yorkton for giving an excellent police escort. I don't know if the officer is still here. Is he here? No? Okay, thank you, RCMP Yorkton. And I also want to thank City Hall. I want to thank your principal. Mr. Chad Hollaneri. Natty, sorry. It almost sounds Italian, and I'm Italian, and I can't pronounce it. Oh, boy. You know, without your principal, this wouldn't have been possible. As soon as he heard about this, he jumped on it and helped organize this. Thank you very much, Chad. And I also want to acknowledge all the walkers that walked with Chris this morning. We have a few up here. Who's the rest of them? Are they in the audience somewhere? Stand up, please. Thank you, guys. Giving Christopher an excellent export and some good company. Okay, now this part of the agenda is Christopher's most exciting part, right? You pumped? Okay. It's called Up Close and Personal with Chris, and this is the chance, an opportunity to ask Chris any question that you'd like. Remember, there's no dumb questions. And there's always that first brave person that puts up their hand right away that has already a question cooking. And there's always one in every school. Where's that brave person? There we go. And the principal's going to acknowledge the...
Mr. Harris, please.
I've been to about 98 to about 100 cities. No.
Please just raise a hand. I'll try and repeat the question if there are people that didn't hear it at the back. Put up a hand if you got one more question. Go ahead, Lindsay.
I'm not allowed walking like across Canada, like on the highways and stuff, because they won't let me. But we drive to like each community, and we walk from like a city hall or like another school or something, and then we walk to the school where we're doing a press conference. So I walk about 1 to 10 kilometers a day.
Question at the back, Ryan.
I don't have to do school because they pass me because of my grades. But I still have to do a journal every day and do a lot of email work.
Let's run that.
You got your liver transplant and you were all healthy. What's the very first thing that you would do? What can't you do now that you wish you could?
Play hockey.
It was good to hear Mr. Serby has a sense of humor about the Maple Leafs making the finals as well. Any other questions from our students or staff? One over here. Go ahead.
You could say anything to any one of us here, what would it be?
My usual saying, please don't take arrogance to heaven, heaven knows me the mirror.
Oh, sorry, Ms. Sturzy.
Do you know what the cause of your liver disease is? A genetic cause? Do you know what the cause of your liver disease is?
Oh, sorry, Ms. Sturzy.
Do you know what the cause of your liver disease is? A genetic cause? Do you know what the cause of your liver disease is?
I don't, but George does.
I thought we made a deal. You were going to answer all the hard questions. Okay. Okay, Christopher is suffering with a disease called Biliary Atresia. He can pronounce it better than I can. And it's a disease that becomes common shortly after birth. Now, the mortality rate is infants that usually contact this disease don't survive past a year, 2 years old, 80% died. Throughout the past 13 years, Kristopher's undergone 20 operations to keep him alive. He's got this amazing will to survive, and he shows it in his everyday life. He doesn't let things get him down. He doesn't whine. The only thing he whines about is when he doesn't watch The Simpsons when he's late, and SpongeBob. But other than that, he's not a whiner. You know, so he's got this great attitude, and that's what he's trying to hopefully reflect on everybody. You know, and he's an amazing kid.
What keeps me going is like all the support that we get from the schools and stuff, and like pretty much on our campaign we meet like people that donated their organs, or like if family members died they donate their organs, or people that receive organs or waiting. Those people and just all the support that we're getting is making me keep on going and not to stop.
Question up at the top.
Yeah, how do you donate an organ?
So maybe just talk a little bit about the process to become an organ donor.
That's two I'm going to get you for. So, the process of donating an organ, fortunately, we don't have any donor cards today to give you, but we're going to be receiving them in a couple of days, and I'm making arrangements for every school in Saskatchewan to receive donor cards so that they'll always be available. So the process is hopefully you can pick up a donor card, or I guess the most important thing is if you get a moment with your family, talk to your family about your wish to become an organ donor. That's the most important thing you can do right now, because the family makes the final decision. And that's really the process, is to find a moment and discuss your wish. We're hoping that everybody here is going to think about it, and everybody one day will talk to their family about it.
Mr. Hunt?
How long did you wait for you were on this?
For George?
That's all your questions. Can't you answer my question? Well, it was relatively average time, which is 9 months. It's you know, for someone to be on the waiting list for 12 years, you can't even fathom the thought, because most people won't survive 12 years. So I was fortunate. It arrived after 9 months, but like Chris, I met so many people on the waiting list that passed away, and it just didn't make sense. Why is this happening in Canada? Why are so many wasted organs and so many people passing away that could be receiving this organs? It just didn't make sense, that equation. So that's why Chris is out here bringing this very important message to everybody.
Question up at the top here.
How old do you have to be to donate the organ?
How old do you have to be an organ donor?
Okay, here's the process. Like, even when you're 18, it says you're supposed to be 18. Even when you reach 18, you still need to discuss your wish with your family, because present Canada doesn't have a legal binding decision. That means that we're operating under a system called family consent. The family's going to get approached to make the final decision. And actually, one of the other things that we're trying to do is lobby some change, because that's a very prehistoric system that we're operating under. And some of the countries that developed improved systems, they have some of the highest rates in their country. And what they did was they created registries where everybody in their country was registered as organ donors already, and people that didn't want to be on that list took their names off. As a result of that, they don't have people passing away on the waiting list. So one of the things that Kristopher's trying to do is inspire the government and the public about developing change, because that's what this country's all about. Like, you know, if something could be fixed, well, we should do everything possible to try and fix it, and we think this is one area that could be fixed.
Question, Mrs. Lukey?
Why are you on the waiting list so long? What, is there not a match, or what's the problem?
Okay, the only reason why I'm on the waiting list so long is because, like, you can donate, like, part of your liver, like, a lung, and right now I have to have the whole liver, and it has to be pretty much the same blood type, and it has to be, like, the same age, like, the same size. And right now, I'm walking across Canada, and 3 years ago, the only reason why I wasn't getting the liver then is because I'm out in the hospital right now sick, and there's kids right now in the hospital that are like my age and that need a liver and same type and everything that are in the hospital waiting. So they'll get their liver before I do, and like 6-7 months ago I was first on the list, and then until like 2 weeks ago we found out that I'm third on the list now. It's because I'm out in the hospital waiting, so that's another reason why I'm not getting it now.
Any other questions for Kristopher? Mr. Hirsch?
When do you think you'll be done with your tour around campus?
Okay, well, I started on January 8th in Sarnia, Ontario. Does anybody know what that is? Well, that's my hometown. And we did 76 communities in Ontario. Then we're heading out west to BC, Victoria. Then we're going to fly to Toronto and do a 2-month thing there. Then we're going to fly to St. John's, Newfoundland, and walk back to Toronto and be done December 25th, 2004.
Any other questions for Kristopher or George? Ben?
I'm just wondering, what's your opinion on the band Kiss?
What's your opinion? What's your opinion?
I don't think they're very good.
Any other? George started it with that no question is a bad question. Travis?
Is it fairly easy for you to get up and talk about your life in front of student bodies?
Yeah, it is easy. At first it wasn't. I was scared, like, couldn't even walk on the stage. But now I'm kind of used to it, so I can tell anybody about anything about my life, so. I guess I feel great. Well, like back then, no one had ever listened to me, but I'm just glad that our people are listening about this issue because it is not a very good issue to talk about, but it's a good issue to talk about to students because, well, first, like he was talking to the community, not really a very good issue to talk about, but it's a good issue to talk about to students because, well, first, like he was talking to the community, not really schools. And when I asked him if I could do this walk, I kind of asked him if instead of going to to talk to all the parents, might as well talk to the kids because they're the ones that are gonna be telling their family. And they're the ones that are going to be, when they get their license, get a donor card. So that's why I'm doing this in front of all you people so when you get your license to sign your donor cards.
question, Jake?
Do you watch hockey?
Do you watch hockey?
Yeah. I think Sean Ridley.
There's one question at the top, Mrs. Hartman.
When you sign your donor card, I know, like I remember when I got my license, which wasn't that long ago, but you check a little box, but can you like specify which organs you would want to donate? Because I know my sister, for example, she has, she's blind in one eye and she wants to be a donor, so can she specify, or can people specify which organs they would like to donate?
So just in case, before I interrupt, are there specific organs a person may choose to donate as part of their donor card?
Yes, that's correct. On the donor cards, it actually, you can make a specific list of which organs. But once again, I can't stress enough that that decision, you should get an opportunity to discuss it with your family members, because it's not legal binding. Unless they consent to it, it won't happen.
One question, Kurt?
Besides this one, what's the stupidest question you've ever been asked?
Okay, this one kid at high school, he asked me if I've ever had sex.
Before you answer that, we are in a Catholic high school. We are coming close to the time when I know Kristopher and George, as obviously you've heard, have a very busy schedule. Are there any other questions that people might wish to ask them? Any final comments? Oh, I'm sorry. How did how did Kristopher and George meet?
About four years ago, Mr. George Marcello started, he did a walk across Canada. He did a 769-day walk. He got to walk the whole thing. And, he came through Sarnia, and I was with Liver Foundation at the time. And they told me to go meet this guy that's walking across Canada. So I got to go meet him, and he was talking about organ and tissue donation, and then I told him I needed a liver, and then he left. And he came back a year again, and actually a year later, and then he came through Sarnia, and I asked him if I could carry the torch through Sarnia. He goes, yeah, sure. And then, so he gives me the torch, and I walk, and then after the walk, we sat down and had something to eat, and then I asked him if I could walk across Canada, and he didn't really say anything, and then he left again. And I called him like 2002, I guess. I was having surgery on Halloween, so they called me in to go get some surgery done. And after that, I called him, told him I was going in, and then talked to him, and then after that, hanged up, and then went, had my surgery, and then I called him about like 40 times and emailed him and asked him if I could walk across Canada, and he did email me, And he said, I guess, and then, yeah, and then he goes, well, we'll have to talk to your family. So we talked to my parents, and my parents are very shocked that I asked them if I could walk across Canada. And then all of a sudden they said yes. And then we had to wait like another year to get this going. And he said he had planned it all. And he didn't do that much planning, but it's still good. And so we started this on January 8th, and this is the day 111. Yeah.
A few more questions? Go ahead. People want to know if they wanted to get in touch with you as you made your journey, maybe talk about your website and how they can contact you through the website.
Yes, on the posters over there, there's a few of them, and they have my website on it. It is www.kristopherswish.ca, and on the left, the left, it says contact us. You click on that and you can email me. And on the website there's a few things that you can read about my story, and read about George's story, and read about his walk, and then hold on, I think. Okay, and then you go on this one thing and you click on schedule, and it shows you the whole schedule, where I'm gonna be, who am I gonna meet, and if you click on like we have a whole schedule, and if you click on like a community, it shows up a whole bunch of pictures that like helped us on our way and like sponsored, well not sponsored us, but gave us like free meals or free accommodations. And George can tell you a bit more.
You know what, Chris? I think you did a heck of a job.
Mention that if you are interested in keeping in touch, there will be some of the posters that will be available through the school, and again you can log on to the website to check Chris and George's progress through the next few days of their journey. Lindsay?
Yes, I keep in touch. I have a brother and sister at home. Brother is 16, sister is 17, and when I get my liver, my 16-year-old brother, he is going to finish the walk. He's not going to finish the walk, but he's going to he's going to walk until I get better, or recover, and me and him are going to finish it together. And I have a dog at home, and I have a mom at home.
We're going to have just time for one other question, and I know you were waiting the longest, so go ahead.
Why do you need a whole liver? Like, and not just a piece?
George, do you know that?
Actually, I just want to get into the live donors first, because the past 3 years, there's been an incredible increase of live donors donating half their livers, and because of the increase, a lot of people that are waiting for livers have been able to have their lives saved. And I just want to quickly tell you that the person donating half their liver, it grows back into a full liver after 3 weeks. And the person that received the liver, it grows back after 6 weeks. And half their liver, it grows back into a full liver after 3 weeks. And the person that received the liver, it grows back after 6 weeks. And both of them will probably be back at work in about 3-4 months, or school. So we're encouraging the live donations, but just to get to the question, the reason why Kristopher is not a candidate for a live donor is because he not only, he needs the liver, but he also needs all the other stems coming out of it. and in order, because it's the nature of his disease, so that's impossible to get a live donor, and you know, that's the way he's going to receive it.
Thank you all for the questions, and especially thanks to George and to Kristopher for answering them so candidly and so openly. Before we do thank them as a final time, I'd like to call forward some members of our SRC. I'd like to call forward Kate James, Chris Trotz, and Nicole Alberts to make a presentation on behalf of our student body.
Okay. On behalf of Sacred Heart SRC and our school, we'd like to present you with this snazzy Saints cap for you to wear on the rest of your journey. And we have a donation of $400 that came from our recent dance. And yeah, that's to help you out, and good luck. Okay, and even though Kristopher says he doesn't want us to sing happy birthday, I think we still should. In 2 days. That's what we did. Start. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Kristopher. Happy birthday to you.
Once again, I'd like to thank Kristopher and George and the whole group that's traveling with you. Thank you for taking time to come to Sacred Heart. This is, I believe, your first stop in Saskatchewan, so we're very proud that Sacred Heart was able to be that first stopping point for you in this province. We wish you all the best on your journey. And we'd like to just pass on the message that we will keep you and all others in need of the medical procedures and are well on the waiting list in our hearts and in our prayers, as we wish you the best of luck on your continued journey. Thank you once again. Kristopher and George are going to be exiting, and as they do, please give them a large round of applause and thank them for their time.
Quick. As you know, elections are coming up quickly.